Hey, good morning. I figured I would do a Facebook Live actually talking about what we did all day Friday and Saturday and a little bit yesterday. And that was we created a new program called The Right to Exercise. Why do we do this? Well, we've been committed for the last 2 quarters to implementation for Movable University doctors to get them implemented in practice. We started the inner circle, which we're on week 11 or 12 tomorrow on Tuesday. And it's been really successful. We got a lot of doctors implementing stuff, rocking this in their practice, starting to get deeper and deeper into this system. We've learned a lot from that process of how to better serve our doctors, which is great. But the thing that I love doing, as you probably know, is content creation, making new stuff, making new programs. Well, we have an associate doctor in our practice, Dr. Zach, and he's doing awesome. He's got everything it takes to be super, super successful. And the cool part about that is that he is a clean slate. He's following the systems. He doesn't have any preconceived notions. He's not like a several-year practicing doctor that's like, that won't work, I'm not going to do it, this and that. He just comes in as a clean slate. He's following it, and he's seen success already. He's done a couple of screenings at a gym, too. We used our system, Movable University for Fitness Professionals, to get into a gym. We're going to be doing training with the trainers soon. That's going to produce trust and rapport and connection with the trainers, to then have the trainers be sending people who have a stopping point or injury in as patients, which are very high qualified people. But as a result of that, they've allowed Dr. Zach to come into the gym and do screenings. So now we said, okay, what's the most effective way to do screenings when you're in gym? People are there to work out. They don't want to stop and talk to you. You're not like, hey, how's it going? You want to stop working out and talk to me about something? So there's some things we're playing around with. That's really how I started my practice back in 2003, as I did screenings at a Gold's Gym like twice a week in the evenings. And I had patients I took care of for 8-9 years that I met at a gym screening. Now we have better technology. Now we have better engagement. Now we have cool programs that we do. So we decided to build this thing called The Right to Exercise. I'm going to flip this around so you can see it. Okay, so here's what The Right to Exercise is. This is not done yet. This is what Vlad had called it when he set up a template for me. He called it Gym Table Membership Area. We'll make a video here. This will be The Right to Exercise by Move Now. I don't know if you've seen that. We're making a switch from Move Well to Move Now. That's just another name here that we're using. We can clarify that more in the future. And then when you log in, it gets to here. Okay? So I'm gonna explain this as I show you. So what is the right to exercise? Well, what it is let's say that you're talking to someone in the gym and you want to get their attention. You want to get them some like really good content. You say, hey, look, we're experts in movement. There's four main movements: bench, overhead press, squat, and deadlift. And even if you do machines all day long, what you do constitutes these movements at some point for sure. And most people think a warm-up is you just walk in the gym, you do the same exercise you're going to do lighter, and then you get to work. Well, that's not the best evidence-based approach to actually getting muscle tissue working properly, to prevent injury, to get muscles to activate. So we built this little program called The Right to Exercise, and I'll just show you this intro video. I'm just showing you how this is laid out here. Talk about the 4-step sequence. This is a thing that we made here, so check this out. These are sequences that follow the same thing that we teach clinically in office of global mobility, focused mobility, soft tissue extensibility, stability and patterning. We made sequences, warm-ups for bench press, overhead press, squat, and deadlift. They can print this out, they can download it. Isn't that cool? So they can download it, print it out. Super mobile friendly. This is something we're gonna be rolling out with. There's 3 tools that we use in all the protocols. So neck trigger point tool, double crossball, and red mobility band. So guess what? That's a mobility prep kit. So they can get a mobility prep kit if they want to schedule an appointment and come in for a full exam in office. And when they come in, they get that kit. So that's now a very classy way of getting someone to sign up with you. And they have this at the bottom of the page as they're going in. And this can be branded for any clinic in the future. That's the plan. The plan is to master this thing, create a little system out of it, and then everyone else be able to have a clone of this and make this your own campaign of getting into gyms and going in and doing this event. We're going to go through step by step how we do everything in the gym as well. We're playing around with some different things right now, seeing what is most successful. All right, And then, so look at this. I'll just play this real quick. You see my feet in the background. Dr. Todd and Trainer Tony from Move Now, and we are really excited to bring you the right to exercise. Now, before we get started on this program, you'll see that there is the contact information for a movement-based provider below, because they are part of a bigger network of programs and things that we have all created that are not only for movement-based professionals such as fitness professionals, personal trainers, also the general public, and also programs that are used with chiropractors and movement-based providers across not just the country, but the world. So this is a big network of people that all have a common vision, which is improving movement, improving overall health, and really recognizing that exercise is essential to accomplish and lead a healthy life. So now, Trainer Tony, tell me a little bit about why we decided to build this program, The Right to Exercise.
So this program is about making sure that you are adequately prepared to do some of the even most basic movements that we do when we're at the gym. This includes pressing motions this way, also overhead pressing, squatting, and deadlifting.
And keep in mind, you might be saying, well, I've never done any of those lifts in my life. I just use machines when I go into a gym. Pretty much every movement you do is going to encompass one of those 4 activities that Trainer Tony just mentioned. So this applies to you if you are moving and you are trying to get fit and you are trying to build strength and eventually power. So with that said, the last disclaimer is that we feel strongly that before you start any fitness routine whatsoever, you get checked out by a movement health professional that understands how important this is, does a movement assessment, make sure that you're fit and ready to do so. And if you have any pain in any of these movements, numbness, tingling, burning, pinching, pain, okay? Like for example, what's a common type of pain thing that you've seen?
Overhead press, any kind of pinching or pain in the shoulder. If you're squatting, any kind of low back pain or knee pain, you want to get that checked out. Don't just think you should push through it.
When in doubt, stop, default to the information below, get checked out by the movement-based provider listed on this page. And with that said, we're excited to bring you the right to exercise. Cool. Okay, so that's right here. You can list, the staff and everyone that's organized with this. And then you have bench movement prep warm up. So we talk about it, we take you through it really quick, and it basically goes through this flow chart here, which I'll show you a piece of this too. You guys are getting like the behind the scenes. Again, welcome to The Right to Exercise. In this video, we're going to cover the bench press warm up mobility drill so you can get things moving, active, and you can get them. And then it's going to run right into his traps and his lats. He started with his lats and teres major. Again, all of these exercises are going to be located in the exercise library on this page. So you can go into it and watch it in full detail. This one's called foam roll lats, which is under the arm. The arm is going to be pretty much overhead. And then it goes to the next one. And so it's about on the spine. 30 seconds He's to a minute out, showing each one. And then saying, in there, try to get saying, here's the sequence. Arm forward, like. And to get more information on this, to get all the cues and all the details, watch the full video in the exercise library below. Lumbar lock, thoracic rotation. There's out, and then he's going to lift. And when he reach, roll, and lift. Keeping the elbows tucked to the side, and then he's going to stretch his arms. Banded row. All the time, and I'm going to show you a couple of. And external rotation. Activate external rotators. Then you start loading after you've done all of this. Graphic that you can even print out if you want. And then this right here, they can print that out in this area right here. Get all 4 of them. You can download it. Okay. So they have bench press, bench movement warm up, and then you go to exercise library and they got bench press. Boom. Bench press goes through global mobility. They have a full videos that explain everything. So they can click on this and they can get, a 2-minute video just on that one exercise. Foam roll lats. Then you got focus mobility, soft tissue extensibility, and then stability and patterning. Okay. Pretty cool. So that's for bench press. And then so you have over here overhead press, movement prep. We go through a 7-minute video taking you through it step by step. It's put together here in this diagram. And then when you want to go into the library to learn about all those movements that that make up this whole strung together sequence that encompass this. You go to exercise library, overhead press, and you'll see everything strung together. Okay. Same thing with squat. You go to squat, boom, and then deadlift, same thing. Okay. So that's it. And then what does it do? It points to, hey, if you need help with something, contact this group here, right? And there's going to be, the plan is to have a probably like 6 email sequence hooked up to this as well. So when someone registers and gets access to this, the special offer that the doctor or staff person just very tastefully mentions is like, hey, if you want to come in and get checked out in detail, we have this thing called the mobility prep kit. It's demonstrated in all the videos here. It includes 3 things: neck trigger point tool, double lacrosse ball, red mobility band. We have all these things right here. Normally it's $49.50 for all 3 of these tools. You actually get this for free. This is something that this gym has asked to do something special for the members. That's what we're doing. You get this for free when you come in. You complete your full assessment in office. So you can register. We have some appointments open, but this is only when we meet you in person. No, I'm busy right now. You know, I don't know my schedule. Hey, totally fine. But if you want access to the right to exercise, I can give you access to it right now. So let's set you up with that. And then you'll get an email and it'll tell you how to get back into it. Cool? Yeah, okay. Put their email in, name, email, put it in the system, and then it's going to automatically send them some emails that's going to say, welcome to Right to Exercise. Here's how you get back in. And then the second email is going to say, hey, by the way, there was if you haven't taken advantage of getting the mobility prep kit, it's not too late. We decided to open this up to you again. You have 5 days. So here's what this consists of. Here's what it is. Click back here to get back into your portal, and you can contact the provider listed on your page or whatever. Okay, so whatever call to action it is, like give us a call, get back in. So we're gonna be testing this. Dr. Zach went in even before this was set up and kind of followed this system of just saying, hey, we have a system that's going to be set up, and if we get your email, we can plug you in. I think he said he got 7 or 8 emails, being at the gym in a couple hours, scheduled 1 new patient that's coming in this morning for a exam, and he's going to do this multiple times per week. This is how he's going to start building his practice. This is going to be one arm of it, and yeah. And then after the 5-6 emails, if someone doesn't act, then they get put into your ongoing communication system email so that they are engaged from your clinic emails. There's some stuff on a side note that we're working on with Cash Practice, with Miles Bodson and Holly Jensen. We had a really good talk with them on Friday, me and Vlad did, and some really cool things in the pipeline coming with them. So if you already use Cash Practice and you're part of MoveWell, great. There's just something they're gonna turn on for you once we get it all templated out. And if you're new to this whole thing, wondering how it works, Cash Practice is going to do some special stuff for you guys as well. If you're a MoveWell member and then you want to join Cash Practice, which we use for what's called the Wellness Score and Cash Plan Calculator. It's how we make our financials. And we're going to actually start to connect their email drip system to the 12-week transformation, which for those MoveWell doctors that are watching this, you know what that means. But that's also going to be a thing that can connect to the Right to Exercise. It's basically just that whole email sequence that sends out to them. In the past, that was a copy-paste type thing. You had to have an email system that linked up to be able to do it. We're finding out that I didn't realize that the software Cash Practice has inside their program does all that. So awesome, because it could save doctors and staff a lot of time. Anyway, with that said, check out MoveWell University Masterclass to find out more about this big picture of what we do. Go to movewelluniversity.com/masterclass. I put the link on the subject line above. So have a great day. Tell me what you think about the Right to Exercise. Here, on the outro. Tell me what you think. The Right to Exercise. Let me just explain this real quick. I'll play one more video on the outro. You're watching the Right to Exercise. So now how is this different, and what sequence are you going to go through when you warm up? Well, first off, most people think that a warm up before they do like a bench press or an overhead press or anything is just stretch for a couple of seconds, then jump into that exercise and do it lighter, right? And you do a couple lighter sets and now you're ready to rock and roll. Well, you might be able to get away with that. You might be watching this saying, well, that's what I do and I'm fine. That's not the best way to do it. That's not the most evidence-based approach to prevent injury
and also have better muscle activation and improve strength. So if you want to actually take advantage of not just having a better workout, but actually be more productive, follow this 4-step sequence before you start to load or actually lift weight. That 4-step sequence is as follows. You're going to start with a global mobility, things like using a foam roller to start to stimulate or just loosen up tissues. Then you're going to get into something called focus mobility. This also uses a couple of tools. It uses the double across ball and the neck trigger point tool. These are ways of getting into tissues more specifically and then combining it with a compression and a pin and stretch technique to help elongate tissues, desensitize pain, improve mobility, just get you more aware of how those tissues should be moving before you proceed to the next step in this 4-part sequence. And then that next step is something called soft tissue extensibility. That is known as stretching. That's where a lot of people start when they go in and warm up. And you're skipping 2 steps. You're skipping global mobility and focus mobility. Very, very important. You'll get way more out of the stretching component if you start with the first 2. That's what all the science out there shows. That's why we built this program as such. This is actually how we are teaching patients inside of our clinics and how all of our movement professionals that are part of this network follow this program as well. It's been proven. So follow how this works if you want the best results. So now the 3rd step is soft tissue extensibility. That's where you're going to be going through the best isolated types of stretches, okay, for those regions. We're going to run through this, show you the process. And again, for everything that we're showing you, there's going to be a full video that goes through it in detail. We're going to run through this quickly so you can see how it goes through that 4-step sequence before you get into your loading. The 4th part of this now is patterning and activation. So now after you get all the tissue warmed up and you can actually feel your body moving, you have less pain, you have less restriction, more mobility. Now it's time to activate these muscles neurologically, get them to engage so that when you start to load, you have that mind-muscle connection working and you will get the most out of your exercise to build strength and do this in a pain-free, stabilized type of position. And then we're going to see you on the next video where we take you through 4 different warm-up sequences. I almost feel bad saying warm-up because it seems to not do it justice because it's more than just a warm-up. This might be a 10 to 15 to 20 minute pre-loading process, which I know some of us have the mindset of, well, that's time wasted. I could be doing something else that's gonna, start to get into my workout. And that mindset needs to change. I can tell you myself personally, and I'm sure Trainer Tony as well, we used to do that as well, and then it leads to an injury. And then you learn and you realize that you need to adapt for longevity. That's why we're all doing this. We want to improve our health. That's why we're exercising. And we want to be able to do this until we're over 100 years old, right? At least. So with that said, we'll see you on the next video, which is going to be the first warm-up sequence.
And then the warm-up sequence is, boom, bench. Cool. All right, unveiled the curtain, showed you behind the scenes. This is what we've been working on. That took Friday to film it, to start editing. Tony was making the graphics, editing. I was editing, building this site. Vlad, who's our move all support, gave us he put a really basic 2-step funnel together in ClickFunnels that I used as a template. And then I went through all of this stuff and Marco Polo'd back and forth with him. And he's going to fix a couple things in here too before this is ready to go. And I have to make 2 more videos. One that's an exercise library overview video I'll shoot today. And then the opt-in page video, which is, make one right here.